And a lot of our listeners are looking to scale from millions to billions, and you've seen perhaps companies do just that, being an M&A. And so, how do you identify the timing of such things? I know it's never perfect timing, but what are some of the key questions that someone might ask before they would say, "Yeah, I need to hire Kevin White and his team to help me implement and to sort which softwares are going to be best for me at this time?"
Yeah, sure. So I guess I'll answer one part of that question first, which is sort of when to bring in outside support. Our most common entry point is when there are institutional investors in the cap table the first time. And as you can imagine, before that point, if you've got angel investors or you've got sort of a friends and family round, at that point, there's not a ton of scrutiny on the financials yet. It's more about the entrepreneur and the business and how it can grow. The second that you bring in institutional investors, that game changes. And there's multiple stages of that, right? So this sort of the seed investment of $1 million plus, all of a sudden your financials become important. A lot of questions start to get asked on those. And then post Series A, when you start to get into the growth equity space, and you get just serious investors doing 10 million, 20 million plus investments, game changes again. And it's very technical, focused on the financial model, sort of how you over time. So, to answer the question, sort of want to bring outside folks, and I'd say it's a lot of cases founders will either do their own books or they'll have somebody, their cousin Bob is sort of doing the back end on a part-time basis. Once you have institutional investors, and it'll become almost a full-time job just to sort of deal with your board. And that's really the trigger point when you probably need professional help, whether that be Expo or some other company. That's what I'd suggest. In terms of understanding the trigger points, I'll give you two good examples of this. So there are different reasons to sort of level up what your stack looks like based on where you are in your business life cycle and some very specific things that you might be doing. So, for example, one of the most common is QuickBooks does a really bad job of doing multi-entity rollups, right? Intercompany transactions, multi-entity rollups. And so if you're expanding internationally or you have even if you have multiple entities domestically, you can use softwares. We use a software called Join. You can use Fathom. There's a couple different softwares that allow you to roll up multiple QuickBooks instances, but it's really not built for a multi-entity company. And it's interesting. There's a lot of new accounting software, several, I won't go through all the list, that are popping up because of this exact pain point. A lot of people are looking to get off QuickBooks, and then maybe they want to get into something like Sage Intacct or NetSuite.